hardscaping restoration project today. We started out cleaning a couple weeks ago, and we used the Paver clean, and that was a real easy process to use in a watering can is the best way to do that. With the Paver clean, it is straight, so you put it in your watering can and water it over the surface of your pavers, and then rinse it off with water, and that cleans the pavers, gets all the dirt away. If you have a problem with moss and mildew, there's another product for that, which we've had here, and we sprayed that again about a week or two ago, so that had time to kill, and then we're power washing it out. There's many other products for leaf debris and things if you've got stains on your concrete pavers that you can use to get the spot off. Alright, so we've done the cleaning, now we're on to power washing. And I have on my lovely pants today for being waterproof, because this process is very messy if you have sand, or especially poly sand that's been put in beforehand. This patio is probably about 10 years old and just needs that update. A lot of mildew is growing, moss growing between. The sand has gotten discolored. And with the new poly sand products in the market today that hold better to debris getting in there, plants coming up through, and they prevent the ants and grasshoppers from getting their eggs in there, and also still let the water through, but those new poly sands have a lot better polymers to keep your surface free of debris and weeds trying to sneak through. But in this process, we have to use a power washer here to get it all out of the joints. So this is a very tedious project and very dirty. So I recommend waterproof pants and boots, and probably should wear safety glasses too with the sand kind of kicking up. You got to be careful when you're doing it, because if you get too far down into the joints of the brick, you'll have that sand kicking out underneath, and then it'll become unstable, and you'll have to reset that paver. So you got to get it just the right level, so you pop out the poly sand and the gel in there and the moss and the mildew, but without getting the sand all gouged out underneath. Alright, now we've gotten our pavers joints cleaned out. You probably have to go back behind yourself after using the power washer and either use a utility knife or some other small tool to get in between the cracks to get the weeds and stuff out and get it out a little bit cleaner. Once you have the joints cleaned out, like we do here, we are ready for our poly sand. And we're using Evolution here in gray. And this has a great, again, a really good blend of sand and poly to create that surface so that, again, lets the water through, but not weed seeds and ants and things like that. So to begin with, you don't need to pour out a whole lot. We're just going to be sweeping it into the joints. You want to get just enough. Use a good stiff broom that's clean, preferably not one that you've been using in the driveway, so that it'll keep the weed debris out. Now the other thing you want to make sure too is that the brick is dry. So wait the appropriate amount of time for the brick to get dry before you start the poly sand process. Again, we're just sweeping that, working that into the joints here as we go. And then once we get done with sweeping it into the joints, carefully we'll water it down with a garden hose with a shower attachment until the surface is shiny with water and it just percolates through and gets that sand a little bit of wet. And then we'll be finished with the poly sand portion. The other part of the process with the poly sand, once you've used the broom, got it into your joints, is before that you wet it down. You want to take something like a leaf blower, one that doesn't too powerful, but very carefully at the right angle, be blowing off the tops of the bricks. That way you make sure you get any little particles of the polymers or the sand off the surface of the brick and back into the joint where it goes, so you don't have any gritty feeling to the brick once you're done wetting it down. So that process, you have to be very careful, again, kind of working at the angle to get that dust away, but not blowing out the poly sand at the same time and gouging down into your joints, so that you have a successful paver restoration with joints that look beautiful. Right, so here's a completed area of a poly sand that's been watered down and is now set, and you can feel in the joints and can't bring up any sand. That polymers have risen to the surface of the poly sand and have now created that barrier again, so ants can't get through, weeds won't be able to get through, and just keeps your pavers all in place and should last for many years to come.